Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Tender. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. May 23rd, 2024. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right-hand corner, hit that Options Tender logo, and subscribe. I'm going to do these videos as consistent as possible and educate while doing so. I adjusted my Patreon, so please consider supporting the page for $3. Descriptions below. That will keep this channel running efficiently. And I'll do these videos each and every day. And then if there's new information, I'll continue to do the videos more often than that, maybe twice a day. Okay, so we're going to look through SPY from the weekly down to the 65. We'll check out the VIX and end it there. I do believe we're getting some sort of reversal. Tomorrow should be much more telling on the weekly candle. That's why I'm on the weekly time frame. We're getting near, and we're starting to form a doji here, so we could get some continuation to the downside possibly tomorrow with the reversal. And then we'll be looking for a low sometime next week, or maybe the beginning of the week after. Since it's a short week, a lot of times it's just a low volume float type week. So, all right. So we might not go too far anywhere. So anyway, let's jump into it. We have SPY on the weekly time frame. This is the trend from the 2000 top. Now I'm going to adjust something here, and I know that some people are looking at this way and considering this candle, this reversal, a top. Is that possible? Yes, of course. I don't think that's the case, but if we lower this down, and if you look at this top here, right now it's on the very tip of these wicks here, and that's where I expect this to extend to. But you'll see that others have the bodies of all of these candles. That's very valid, you guys. And so we're getting a reversal off of that zone right there. Now, I'll leave this here this time, and then the next video I'll move it up a little bit. But so if we're getting reversal off of this point, we can use this as a reference at getting on top of it. If we do, then we continue higher to the next levels. Okay, so I have this channel here, and I suspect that price possibly could even get to this 560 point way up here on top of the channel. So we want to keep that in mind. Our most likely scenario is about the 543 target. So there's two targets for you. And yesterday's video, I went through those detailed. So I'm not going to go through those as detailed. I'll quickly go through those today. But I do think we're going to get some sort of reversal. Maybe that brings us down to the 8 EMA. That's around 518 at this point. All right, let's move down to the daily time frame. Trend is our friend. Let's do some traditional technical analysis on this as well. And again, I have this upper trend line up a little bit further in confluence with filling out this wedge a little bit more, and that's at our 543 area. We'll call it 540 to 545 area, depending on where we possibly touch up there. Now, we've had this this nice move here. This can be considered, this move can be counted many different ways. We'll look at the counts. What this could do is be one entire move to fill out this wedge. Or, in my opinion, we're looking for an A, a B, and a C. And then if you want to go even further, this could possibly also be a ending diagonal of some sort. And that all changes counts of stuff that happened previously. But the reason why I'm showing you this traditional technical analysis, the only thing that matters on this chart is that we stay above trend. Okay, we have some references. We have the all-time high, former all-time high. We're still above the 8 EMA, which allows us to be bullish, but we're getting a bearish engulfing candle over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. So entire week wiped out from today. I know we had some news, we had some catalysts we talked about, but there's a more technical perspective. I know that a lot of people want to talk fundamentals, but there's more technical perspective on the lower time frame that I'll show you. But for now, 8 EMA, all-time highs, 20, and finally the 50, which coincides with the uptrend line. Okay, and if you want to be in the horizontal area, that would be about the 513. So if this was a real brutal move all the way down next week, we could possibly test that 513 area. That would be, I mean, that would have to happen pretty much in a day or two for that to occur. But I mean, anything's possible. So we'll see. I think it's more likely to get around to this trend line in the 20 moving average, about that zone. But I'll show you some levels on that I'm looking at, and those are some former resistance points and slash support right at that about 418. All right, that's the middle of this entire range here. All right, let's go over. If you're new, we want to always show our projection. We are looking at a possible ending diagonal. We're still on the daily. We're looking for an ABC for 1, ABC for the 2, ABC for 3, ABC for 4, and now an ABC for 5. It doesn't have to be that deep. So let's go ahead and get a little bit closer here. And what happened today? 5/23. You see that down there, that date? This is our vertical time relationship with price, and we showed this almost every single day. 138.2 extension from 2022. This entire move, that's the 138 extension from that move, and we were showing difficulty at that level. And try to get above, gapped above, which is perfect because on the lower time frame, you'll even see the next kind of relationship. So we have the 523 time and price together. We're getting our reversal. We had a nice put play here today. We're also long Tesla still. And so I do expect to continue to see some downside. And we have these former extensions here. So that's a possible place that's around the 50. That's at 515. So that's a 515 area that will coincide also with that uptrend line. And then after that, I suspect that we'll start to get some more upside, possibly all the way to the 560. That would be our third target. Our first target, we're here. Second target on the daily time frame is 545. I told you, keep in mind that 540, 545 area, that would be next. And then the next would be about the 560. So as we get to these time relationships, if on 528, that's the next one, it's really soon, that's next week. If we're getting to lows at 528 next week, we'll be looking for some long plays. If this continues lower, then I do think that we'll be looking for much bigger correction. This could possibly be the continuation of wave 4, where this is an A, this is a B with a new high, expanded flat, and a C heading down much lower, kind of playing out, going to our 200. Maybe we get into some time relationships in mid-June. So remember, we talk about time and price all the time. The time does not tell you direction. It's what price is doing when we get to those time frames. Okay, and especially clusters such as this one here. All right, that's a big deal. Okay, now let's go to the lower time frame so we can kind of compare what we were looking at yesterday. We mentioned yesterday that we're looking for some sort of time and price relationship. But first, let's look at we have that large wedge here on the 65 minute. We got the gap up, gap and crap, and we're now breaking trend. I tried to build a channel to see if this would hold. We held for a second and then had trouble here holding price, and now price is continuing lower. So we very well could get to this options expected move by tomorrow. Okay. Now I have this reference here for another price and time sort of reality here, and that's to the end of the month. And so I do think we'll find a low somewhere, doesn't matter where, but we'll find a low in that time frame. Now going over to the Elliott wave screen, this is what I'm talking about right here. That's the zone we were looking at. I said there was some unfinished business. We talked about it in the options guy Discord. We're getting our reversal right off of this. We didn't quite get there with this. It looked like an ascending triangle, broke down. But what I really think, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I think this is an A, B, C. What we're looking for, and I'm not going to mark this down, but this was the A, 3-wave move up for A. 3-wave move with that FOMC, very volatile move for a B, and then an impulsive C. So in my opinion, we were at the 1, wave 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We eked out a new high right here for wave 3. And then we had an A, B, C flat pattern, and it all looked like one sideways move. So even traditional technical analysis, we had a fake break, all right, without looking at counting. We broke above and had a fake break down. So I think that was the last wave 5. So again, A, B, 1, 2, 3, flat pattern for 4, and 5 with the gap up. Completed move here for the completed A. All right, or 1. I have these 1 and 2s down here because there may be a 5-wave move up here as an ending diagonal. Ending diagonals are made of 3 waves apiece. So this will follow right along with what we're thinking. And this first target, if we get our top at 540 to 545 area, then I'm looking at this being an A in the yellow, B, and then C. And we'll probably get a reaction off of here. If this reaction is pretty shallow, crossing over wave 1 for an ending diagonal and holding on to some sort of support in this area, I would call it this zone here, then we'd be looking to hedge for more upside. And if we do get the bottom here, then I think the upside is very possible all the way to 560, which I don't have on this chart here. That's on the daily time frame. But this would directly coincide with the wedges, the confluence of the wedge, the bearish rising wedge that we have on this traditional technical analysis. All right, that would be up in these areas. So if we go down, test these zones, and head up to the 543 area, we'd have this different, a lot of different confluence here. One a little bit higher, but this one would be our main one, right about 543. That would be a good area to suspect. All right. Other than that, let's go to the VIX, and we can real quick look at time references as we go through here. So we have this 529. That's the end of the month that I was talking about. 529, 531, that type of area. Looking for a bottom around that. So we have 29 and we have 31. So I'd be looking for anywhere in this zone in general, but we actually started dropping from this side zone, so I wouldn't consider this to be part of that, I would go to the time zone of 524. That's next week to have a bottom. If not 524, 529. And if we continue to move lower, then the 531. And this is a cluster here. So we have a lot going on at 531. It also coincides with the daily time frame as well. Okay, so that's our zone. Looking for a bottom, and then we'll head higher to new highs at minimum for one more new high around the 543 area. And this should be right around, I have this here. I think this is more on the bottom of the wedge here that we should hold. Okay, now let's check out the VIX and see what that should look like. So the VIX should have, we have a falling wedge at this point, and we're getting some upside, which is exactly what we wanted to happen right here. An A, possibly B, doesn't matter how you count the VIX here, but we're starting to get moves. We should get a higher move that could spike all the way up to about 550 or so, depending on what kind of lows we get in the market. This might spike up fairly fast, and then what I would suspect, if the market's at its low and going to go to new highs, that we make a brand new low, and we're just making a larger wedge at that point, that we'd extend this out. It might be a channel or a wedge or whatever the case is. We'd have a new trend line that we would draw, and we would likely get a brand new low into this extreme complacency area, saying that the new highs are in for the market. And then we'd be looking for another top. Okay, that's as simple as I could put it. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like the videos, and please consider supporting the channel with the Patreon. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.